Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here, coming at you with another deck profile. This time it is going to be Kozmo. A little bit of a twist. I'll show you. You'll see it when we get to it. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I have awesome budget, rogue strategies, deck profiles, test hands, all kinds of stuff. Subscribing really helps me out. So yeah, really appreciate that if you guys can do that. Starting off with our best machine type monster, our ship, Dark Destroyer, 3 of them of course. If he's normal or special summoned, you target one monster on the field, destroy it. So you could destroy himself and then get his other effect. He cannot be targeted by an opponent's card effect. And then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from your graveyard and special summon one level 7 or lower Kozmo from your deck. So that's when you can special summon him, destroy himself, and then special summon out another one to get him to grave to use some of our revival effects or whatever you got. 3 of him for sure. One that I like particularly in this deck, and you'll see why. But Slip Rider, it's really good. You can pop your own field spell to get a search. You can pop an opponent's spell or trap. It's really good. And then again, if he's destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish him and special summon one level 4 or lower Kozmo monster. Really, really good. And he's a level 5 machine, which will come up as well for the Cyber Dragon Nova to go into infinity, just to get a really nice, easy negate. 2 Kozmo Forerunner. I still really like it. It's got some high attack. It again floats just like all the other ones. It can't be targeted by card effects, and then during your standby phase, you can gain 1,000 life points. I just think it's really, really good overall. Something good to have on the board, to stay on the board, and then on your turn, gain some life points. It's a good card. And then just 1 Dark Eclipser. This again cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. And then during either player's turn, when a trap card is activated, you can banish 1 Kozmo monster from your graveyard and negate the activation and destroy it. The only bad part about him is that if he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you banish him from the graveyard and you add 1 level 8 or lower Kozmo monster from your deck to your hand. So it's okay. It's really good, getting that search. But it doesn't float like the other ones. It doesn't special summon from the deck. So that's the only thing that's not as good about him. But I feel like trap cards are very prevalent this format. Other than like the main meta stuff, you're going to be seeing a lot of decks play some back row, because there's some good back row off the list. So he can come up every now and then. That's it for the ships. For the psychics, the lower level Kozmo monsters, basically. Kozmo Tin Can, he's basically your best normal summon most of the time. I mean, some cases, Straw Man is, or Farm Girl, but most of the time, that's why he's at 3. You definitely want to see him in your opening hand, and you want to normal summon him. So all of the psychic Kozmo monsters, during either player's turn, you can banish this face-up card and then special summon 1 level 2 or higher Kozmo monster from your hand. So that's a way of easily getting out these guys, getting their special summon effects off and stuff. And then his specific effect, once per turn during the end phase, you pay 500 life points and reveal 3 Kozmo cards with different names from your deck, and your opponent picks 1 for you to add to your hand, and then you send the rest to the graveyard. So it's loading up your graveyard and loading up your hand with potentially some really, really good cards. So yeah, he's a must, and in this version that I'm playing, he's a must at 3. 2 Strawman. He can banish him and then special summon 1 Kozmo, 1 level 3 or higher Kozmo monster from your hand. But then once per turn, you can pay 500 life points, target 1 of your banished Kozmo monsters, and special summon it. Its effects are negated and destroy it during the end phase, but it's getting you a free body, because most of these, if they're getting destroyed, you're banishing them to then special summon another one. So this is just getting you back another one or another psychic monster to just go off on your combos. Really good. 2 Farm Girl. I really like her at 2 still. She enables OTKs and all kinds of stuff because when she inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you could pay 500 life points and add a Kozmo card from your deck to your hand. So that's just searching you anything, basically. Went down to just 1 Sword Troopers. This particular build is not as focused on, like too many crazy combos, like link combos or anything like that. But he's really good for, because you just pay 1,000 life points, target 1 Psychic type monster, Kozmo monster in your graveyard, and special summon it. So he is still really good, and then I play 1 Good Witch. Just again, another way of like, tagging, going up into stuff just for OTKing, going to like a Farm Girl, damage, add 1, tag her out, special summon this one, damage, tag out, special summon another one. You can just keep going higher and higher. So I really did want a level 4. That's mostly why she's in here. But yeah, you can pay 500 life points and target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and change it to face-down defense position. So that comes up as well every now and then. Just 1 Dark Lady. She is really good. She again is a psychic that you can just banish and then special summon a level 6 or higher from hand. But then her specific effect, during either player's turn, when another monster effect is activated, you pay 1,000 and you negate the activation and destroy it. So she is still really, really good. And then kind of the cool thing we do with this deck, this particular build that I'm doing, is artifacts. And I'm playing quite a few, most people just play like just 1 Scythe. But we're playing 2 Scythe and 1 Moral Attack just to just stun our opponent and just destroy stuff on the field. So if you do happen to draw 1 of these, you can set it and then hope that you get a Slip Rider that you can then just pop it. So then on your opponent's turn, you can then get this effect or Scythe's effect. So yeah, I think it works very well on this deck. I really like artifacts mixed with Cosmos. So that is it for the monsters. For the spells, 3 Cosmo Town. It's really good, but it's also really good to destroy this. Because basically, if this is destroyed by a card effect, you can add 1 Cosmo card from your deck to your hand. So sometimes you want to just pop this with your own Slip Rider. But it's got an effect, so once per turn, you can target 1 of your banished Cosmo monsters and return it to the hand. And then you lose life points equal to its level times 100. But you're just getting a card for free back to hand. One of your psychics that you banished, or honestly, basically any of your banished Cosmo monsters. And then also it's got an effect, so if you had a bunch of Cosmo cards in hand, you can reveal any number of Cosmo monsters in your hand and shuffle them into the deck, then draw cards equal to the amount you shuffled in. So it can sometimes fix some potentially bad hands. 1 Terraforming to search it out. Emergency Teleport to just special summon. You're just special summoning a level 3 or lower psychic type. So like your Farm Girl, Sword Troopers, Strawman, and Tin Can. Any of those you're going to be special summoning, but you do banish it during the end phase of this turn. Is the only downside, but it's not really in this particular deck. Reasoning, because you're playing quite a few different levels, you should be able to just get a free special summon out of Reasoning, so it's a good card in this deck. And then just 1 Upstart. There's not much draw power, other than Cosmo Town, like fixing your hands, but Upstart, just draw 1, for 1,000 life points to your opponent. Not that big a deal. Now for the fun part of the deck, other than the Cosmo monsters, we got the traps. So 3 Artifact Sanctum. Again, you can pop this if you so desire with your Slip Rider, because you can then just target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Or actually, sorry, you can't use that with this. That's just so if this card in its owner is in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So basically, you're getting something out of this regardless most of the time. But the main reason is obviously activating this and then summoning out the scythe to just lock your opponent out of the extra deck for the turn. So amazing card. It is a little pricey. That's the only thing with the artifacts at this moment, is the sanctums are pretty pricey. And 3 back to the front, and 3 Call of the Haunted. That's basically because we're playing kind of the tin can version where we really want to activate this. And so if you're loading up your graveyard with 2, you're going to get 2 Kozmo monsters to your graveyard. You're going to be able to special summon those back. Or it doubles because you have all this revival. You could just keep activating Scythe. So you have Scythe, and then say your opponent gets rid of it, gets it off the board, then you can just revive it back again on their next turn to then lock them out again. So these become doubly good because of the artifact engine, I believe. And then the last 2 cards is just 2 Cosmojo. Really, really good. You just target 1 Cosmo monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, banish 1 card your opponent controls or that's in their graveyard. So amazing, because you're getting a destruction effect, which is always good in Cosmos because you're going to be getting something, you know, when any of these ships are destroyed. And so yeah, it's just really, really good card. I don't like it at 3. Because you can only activate once per turn, so I don't like to see 2 in hand. I'd rather other cards, so that's why I play 2 of them. So yeah, that is the main deck. A big option that you can do if you have it, Pot of Extravagance is actually really good in this because you're not really going into your extra deck very much. It's not that important. Probably the most important one is going to be Nova, and then into Infinity. That's about the only one I find I go into most of the time. You could also go into like a Leviair if you get 2 level 3s on board, to then just special summon back any of your level 4 or lower monsters that are banished. Break Sword, again, it's a 3 to just generic destruction. And then Hope Harbinger, you can make it with 2 Dark Destroyers. Can you make it with Dark Eclipser? No, he's a 9. So you can make it with 2 Dark Destroyers, and it's a nice card. You know, honestly, most of the time you probably just want to keep your Dark Destroyers on board, but in the case that you know this is going to affect your opponent, it might be nice to make it. So that's why I put it in there. And then just for OTK kind of stuff, Underclock Taker, Pentastag, same kind of thing. And then since we do play some level 1s and stuff, Linkuriboh, and then just generic Nightmare Phoenix, Cerberus, Unicorn, just for generic, you know, destruction and removal of problem cards, basically. So yeah, not much in the extra deck. You can kind of do whatever you want. Play more Links if you want. Play more Xyzs, but it's not too important. So that is the deck, guys. Be coming at you with another deck profile on Saturday. I said it in my last 2 videos, but kind of my schedule: Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sundays might be kind of reserved for catching up on some of like my test hand videos that you guys have requested. So if you do want some test hands for some decks, just comment down below, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.